All right, on my fellow Kim Gogunites, I haven't talked to you guys about Kim in a while, and that's because I've had things going on, like I said in my last few videos, a lot of personal stuff getting in the way. But I have watched all her UNN reports with Sunny, and I just watched the conversation she had with Marina Jacobi. I believe that's how you say her name. And I had never heard Marina Jacobi speak before. That was my first time hearing her. So, yeah, I was like, I guess trying to get used to how she speaks because I've never heard her before. And she was, from what I could tell, she was very wise. She knew a lot of what she was talking about. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I knew everything she was saying because I didn't. Like, I was listening and I was trying to soak in as much as I could. But obviously, I was mostly there to listen to Kim talk, right? And a lot of things that Marina was talking about were very quantum energy, trying to be positive, trying to shift your energy a certain way, transmute energy from negative to positive, create a reality the way you want it to be, and stuff like that. That's what I gathered from what Marina was saying. And Kim, from her UNN reports, she said that there are no more unrepairable humans. The number went down to zero. They got rid of all of them. Now, I don't know what qualifies as an unrepairable human by their standards, but I feel like there's still a lot of people in the world that don't need to be here, and I don't want to sound like, it's my job to dictate that, but if you had to ask me, right, my opinion on me looking at the world and seeing how it is right now, how it's constructed, there are still a lot of structures in place that I don't like, systems, governments, the money system, obviously, I don't like. That's why when Kim talks about that, I kind of shut my mind off a little bit because I don't really care about money that much. I care, but I'm not like this money hungry person, right? So for me, money's like whatever. And from my understanding, when Kim and Marina were talking towards the end and they were reading comments from people that were talking to them or saying things to them in their comment section, apparently people were saying that why haven't they got the money yet and stuff like that. They're all focused on the money, right? And Marino's trying to say stop worrying about that. Or Kim even wrote on the board, she was like, I'm not your savior. And I thought that was funny because people really look at Kim as like the second coming of Jesus, right? And by her own words, she's telling you, hey, I'm just another person. I'm doing my job. I was chosen to do this thing. And don't put me on this pedestal, right? I'm a normal person. I have to live my life just like you guys do. And don't put me like on that pedestal of some kind of savior. And that's where I think a lot of people get confused. And she was also saying, you guys got to go out there and do it yourself, right? Like go and if you want to have access to your quantum money or whatever, go do it yourself. And Marina was saying the same thing. She was like trying to back him up or whatever. All in all, I thought it was a very insightful interview, but I would have to look at it a few times for me to really truly understand what they were talking about because Marina's what she does or what she teaches is very advanced stuff. And she said herself, she's like, if you want to go look at my lessons, go back and look at it. Go for the first lesson and go through all my material and try to understand it. But I feel like, and this is just my observation, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I feel like Kim's crowd and Marina's crowd are very different people or different kinds of people looking for different kinds of answers. Maybe you can mix them together, and I think that's what they said. I think both Kim and Marina said that, where they were like, we're going to introduce different concepts to different people, right? And I think that's a good thing, right? Because you want to learn as much as you can while you're here, right? So you can evolve your soul and advance, right? And become a better version of yourself. So there's nothing wrong with that. But again, there are some people that if they watch Marina, they might be like, well, I just want to watch Marina. I don't really care about Kim, and vice versa, right? There might be people that watch Kim and they might be like, well, I don't really care about what Marina's saying, right? And it's kind of like that. But I guess the best thing to do is keep an open mind and just listen to what they have to say and try to either apply it, practice it, study it, take it in, and do what you can with it, right? They were talking, Marina asked Kim, and I'm skipping around in the interview. I'm not going in any linear fashion. I'm just remembering things as I'm speaking. But I know towards the end, Marina was asking Kim about the assurance because Kim brought this up again. And I've had people attack me over things that Kim has said. They're like, well, Kim talks about this assurance and it hasn't happened yet. Why are you defending her? And I'm like, I'm not the one that said it. I'm just putting out information. Don't attack me because she said something, you know? But Kim is the one that you have to ask why that hasn't happened. And Marina asked her, how would it happen? How would this assurance come about? And you could tell Kim got a little tense where she was like, okay, let me explain it. And Kim doesn't like, I guess she's gotten a lot of backlash because of that. So she doesn't really like, I guess, being questioned about it the way that she was reacting. But Kim is very good at controlling her temper. Unlike me, I can't control my temper. I'm going to be honest. It's very difficult for me to control my temper. But Kim is completely the opposite. She's very good at controlling her temper, but you could still see some frustration. And I'm guessing that she gets attacked about this all the time. It's like, where's the assurance money? Where's the money? Like, people are always about money, right? And I don't know if it's really anybody's fault that everybody's mindset is about money, considering the world we live in is controlled by money, right? So yeah, people are going to be asking about money all the time. But what I tell people is, hey, make your own money. Like what Marina was saying, manifest your own money, manifest your own wealth. And then you don't have to come to Kim and be like, where's my money, right? Just make it yourself. Like, figure out a way to make money and survive in this world. Then you don't have to worry about whether Kim gives you money or not. Now, if Kim does come through with the money or whatever, the assurance, and she's able to provide this service, then look at it as a bonus, right? Just look at it as like, oh, well, she did this thing now. So now I have an extra method of payment that doesn't rely on the money I make from my job or whatever, right? That's the way that I kind of look at it. It's like, okay, if that happens, cool. But I'm not relying on it. I'm not like, Kim, where's the money, Kim? Come on, Kim. I need the money, Kim. Like, there are people like that. And it is what it is. Again, I can't really fault too many people. I can say, I'm not going to be watching Kim and expecting any money from her. That's not what I watch her for. I watch her for knowledge and information on what's going on in the world. And behind the scenes and stuff like that. But if, the world is based on money, unfortunately, and there are people that are desperate and in bad situations and they want money. It's the world we live in, right? So it is what it is. But long story short, I thought it was a very insightful interview. But as far as Kim saying there are no more unrepairable humans left, I feel that I don't necessarily agree with that, if I had to be honest, because I still see a lot of evil people in the world and a lot of evil happening. But according to Kim, things are going to change for the better, where these people who are still carrying out these evil deeds, the good energy that is going to be created in this world, it's going to tear them up from the inside out, right? Like she said, they're going to get diseased, they're going to die of different things or whatever, because they're not going to be able to hold the energy of light, right? So if that's the case, then these people are going to die anyways, right? Like, so I guess they don't really need to be killed. They're just going to die because they're negative people and they're not going to be able to survive in the new world, right? In the new light that's being created. She also said that we're moving towards I forgot what she called it, the crystalline time that we're supposed to be in, and we haven't quite gotten there yet. But that's coming soon, within the next week. She said there are going to be major changes coming up. And if that is the case, then we should start seeing some results of what she's talking about. So for those doubters or people are like, oh, well, she says all this stuff, but it's not happening. Well, if what she's saying is true, then sometime soon, this week or next week or whatever, soon you're going to start seeing things happening where, and this is according to her, so don't come and attack me because I'm repeating something she said. I want to believe what she's saying. I agree with what she's saying. And I feel like that's what needs to happen. That's why I am supporting her. But again, she's the one that's saying this, okay? She's saying that within the next week or so, things are going to start happening and people are going to start seeing results. Like, things are going to happen. So if that's the case, then, we'll see it. It'll happen and it'll be that, right? But what I always tell people about Kim is a lot of the things that she says is a kind of wait and see until time passes kind of thing. So it's like you kind of have to wait for things to play out before you can say she's wrong, right? And the things that you ask for proof for and she can't prove to you, hey, she just can't prove it to you. I mean, there are a lot of things that can't be proven in this world, or there's no proof of, right? Like, it's either you believe it or you don't. And that's pretty much how most things are, to be honest. But for the most part, like I said, I tend to believe what she's saying, and I'm waiting and seeing, right? Like, I'm waiting and seeing. Let's see what happens. Let's see this happen. Let's see that happen. But again, she never fails to have an answer, or she always knows what she's talking about. Like, if you ask her something, she's going to give you an answer. I don't think I've ever once heard her stutter, or like if somebody asked her something, she didn't have the answer to it. I can't recall a time. And I've watched a lot of her stuff, but she's intelligent. She's smart. She knows what she's talking about. And if people say she's made up all this stuff, I'm like, that's a lot of stuff to make up. Like, I mean, you have to really just make stuff up. If you think she's making stuff up, that's pretty crazy. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody with that kind of imagination. Yeah, and you could talk about George Lucas and all these other people, but George Lucas was receiving telepathic communication, and that's how he knows all the stuff he knows about Star Wars. And Star Wars actually happened. It was something that happened in the past, but he was given that knowledge. So in order to come up with the stuff that Kim is saying, I just don't think people are capable of doing that. But anyways, all in all, I would say if you do watch the interview, I'd say watch it a few times to really get it down. It's a long interview, though. I'm not going to lie. I might watch it one more time, maybe. But most of the stuff that was being said there is more of a, if you want to apply it, you have to kind of study it kind of stuff, right? Like, you have to really get into it. If you're not going to do it, if you're not going to do what they were talking about, like what Marina was saying, then it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's useless knowledge, because it's not. It's useful. If you start doing what she's saying and it works, it's good information. But if you're not into that and you're not going to do that, then obviously it's not going to do anything for you, right? Like, you're just going to hear it and you're going to be like, whatever, who cares? Like, I'm not going to do this. Personally, I'm not going to do it, although I may at some point in the future maybe try it. But right now, I got too many other things going on to get down into that kind of stuff. Maybe, in the future, I'll try stuff like that. But whatever the case is, it was a pretty good conversation, pretty good interview. I enjoyed it for the most part. And it is what it is. So if you guys like, comment, subscribe, share. I'll be making more Kim stuff soon. There are still more things I want to talk about. Like, she had another interview I have to watch. And then the latest UNN report. And if you guys have anything you want to fill me in on, leave it in the comment section below, and I'll talk about it in my next video, or I will talk about it in the comment section, let you guys know what I think. Anyways, take care. Like, comment, subscribe, share where you can, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video.